Effective and strategic CEOs, they understand that executive presence sets people apart by this one quality, and it's not what you think. Many of my clients have received feedback that they need to improve their executive presence. And almost without exception, when they're thinking, well, what do I do exactly? How do you want me to improve my executive presence? Most professionals believe that executive presence means something like being charismatic or being extroverted or having some sort of energy and having people trust in everything that they say. But if that's what you're believing, then you're confusing the symptoms with the source. Allow me to offer you my definition of executive presence. Executive presence is your ability to inspire confidence. Confidence from your teams that you are the leader that they want to follow. Confidence from your peers that you are dependable and reliable. When your senior leaders are giving you feedback that you need to improve on your executive presence, what they're really saying is that they don't have confidence in your ability to take on greater responsibility. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to advance your career. You want better opportunities. You want to take on greater responsibilities. But the thing is, when senior leaders give you that feedback, they may not have the vernacular to help you to understand what they mean, and they may not be in the position to hold you by the hand to help you develop your executive presence, because let's face it, they are too busy. They don't have your best interests as their primary value in mind. And they have so many things that they need to take care of on the strategic side of the business. They're not your career coach. So when you hear this feedback, the onus does fall on you to take full responsibility of your own executive presence. So here's the one thing that CEOs know, and it's not what you think. CEOs understand that executive presence is rooted in your internal alignment. And your internal alignment is made up of three things. Your internal alignment is who you are, what you believe, and how you affect others around you. So let's unpack that a little bit more. Who you are is really rooted in what your values. What are your values? And everyone has a hierarchy of values, something that you deem as most important, something that you deem as less important, something that you deem as the most important, and you live and you make decisions based on your values. And what you believe is really demonstrated by your actions. Because if you really do believe something, you will live it. Your actions day to day will show it. Your life will demonstrate if you truly believe that. So that's why it's not about what you say. It is about how you live and what your actions demonstrate. And the third thing that is congruous is who you are, what you believe. And the third thing is how you make others feel around you. And how you make them feel around you, that might seem very trite in the workplace because you might be thinking, well, I'm not trying to be their friends. I'm their coworkers. We're trying to get some work done here. But the fact is, you do have an effect of those around you. And what is the effect that you have? How you've been showing up. This is the impact factor. Don't just aim for influence. Aim for impact. Influence is short-sighted. Impact is how you affect the people around you. And that the congruence between all three of those things, who you are, what you believe, and how you affect those around you, that is your internal congruence. CEOs understand that that is the root of executive presence. Understand that executive presence is the byproduct of that internal alignment. Why? Because external behaviors are a byproduct of that internal alignment. Who you are on the inside, what you believe on the inside, and how you just determine your impact to be, that is going to create the surface level behaviors of performance and polish. That's why executive presence cannot be about performance and polish, because those are surface level symptoms. The root of it, the essence of it, is that internal alignment. And it is the byproduct, the performance and what you do and that polish and all of that, all the performance metrics, that is the byproduct of internal alignment. And that is the one thing that just cannot be faked. It's the one thing that you cannot put a mask on, that you cannot put a facade over. It is the one thing that cannot be faked. And it is the one thing that CEOs look for, and they can identify as those individuals who are earmarked for success. And the reason why that is the case is because it is in alignment, it is in congruence with business success. That means that if you are someone who owns the business, if you are the CEO of the enterprise, you are someone, and you're successful in that role, by the way, that means you're someone who has that internal alignment. So if you're listening to this and maybe you have received that feedback, and this is something that you are serious about, and I hope that you are serious about this even before you get that feedback. Don't wait until you get that feedback. Now, if you desire support, genuine support in helping you develop your executive presence because you desire truly to make an impact on those around you, your industry, your organization, and your career is important to you, then I invite you to work with me. Below this video in the description, there is a link to some things that I have to offer that will support you in developing that internal congruence, that alignment. It'll also support you to develop the skills that are needed to have that alignment and the awareness as well. So this is your personal growth journey. So click the links you see below that video, explore there, and I hope to work with you on the inside. So now I'm going to share with you 5 of my deepest insights. I'm going to call this 5 candid insights forged from the line of fire of leadership from a CEO who recognizes executive presence. Insight number 1 is this: intention and ownership are non-negotiable. Intention and ownership. So what is intention? Intention is you are purposefully choosing your decisions, your actions, and your behaviors. And this is important because executive presence does not occur by accident. Executive presence is forged intentionally. You must set the intention of your career path, and you must set the intention of your personal growth, because your career advancement is going to be the most important personal growth journey of a lifetime. And achieving that executive presence cannot be achieved until and unless you are on an intentional personal growth journey. So this has nothing to do with building your skills, getting more education, collecting those credentials and those certifications, because executive presence is about personal growth, personal development. So that's the intention part. The ownership part is also non-negotiable. Take ownership and full responsibility of your own personal growth. Take full responsibility over how you show up, and those 3 alignments, remember, 3 congruencies: who you are, how you show up and affect those around you, and what you really believe. Take ownership that you have that congruency. Instead of asking yourself, what do I need to do? Ask yourself, what can I do? And here's the most important part about ownership. Don't wait for your boss and your company to invest in you. Invest in yourself first, because if you don't bet on yourself, who's going to bet on you? From time to time, I have clients coming into my mentorship, and they are wanting to ask their bosses, their managers, for an investment into their personal growth. And my response to them is the same every time. Don't wait for your bosses to invest in you. If you won't invest in yourself, who will? If you don't bet on you, who's going to bet on you? If you're waiting for your company to invest in you, sometimes you're going to be waiting a long time, because the priority of the company and their budget is not for your personal growth. The priority for that budget is to grow the company, which is understandable. So don't wait. So that is the most important part of taking responsibility of your path going forward. My second candid insight is this: identity over imitation creates consistency. Identity over imitation. You see, you might have heard the advice, if you want to be a leader, you got to start acting like one and fake it till you make it. Those are terrible advice. It's not about imitation. You don't perform leadership. You can't perform executive presence. You can't put on a performance. Remember, that alignment is the one thing that cannot be faked. It's the one thing effective CEOs know and can identify of someone who has executive presence. It's not about faking it. You cannot perform it. It is your identity. It is about becoming. See, here's the thing. You want to get into that room, that decision-making room. You want a seat at the table. You want to be sought after. The skills might get you in the room, but it's your character that helps you stay there. The skills could get you in that conversation, but your character, how you show up, is going to help you to sustain that success. This is executive presence. It is your personal growth. Understand that your identity becomes who you are. And if it is who you are, then you have that congruency. And that's exactly it. And that is how you become consistent. Consistency is important because it's not about a moment. You're not just present in a moment. It's not just for the moment. It's every moment. It's moment by moment. It is a seamless who you are, because your identity goes all throughout the way you live for the rest of your life. So who are you? Got to understand that and set intentional, take full responsibility of that growth journey. Candid insight number 3. Attracting attention is more strategic than merely being seen. If you have a goal that you want to be seen and heard, don't sell yourself short. You see, in today's economy, This is the attention economy, where attention is the new currency. You desire to have a seat at the table, and your skills could get you there, but your character is going to help you stay there. And when you focus on giving attention, you got to understand that attention is constantly being invested, traded, and multiplied in every single channel where decisions are being made. And this is important because CEOs will identify those with executive presence, and those with executive presence have the identity of one who can add greater value that is above and beyond their current specialization. So when senior leaders give you their attention, what they're doing is they're giving you their most valuable asset, which is their time. They're giving you their time. They can't give you their time unless they first give you their attention. This is the attention economy. So attract attention. If you desire to have that executive presence and be noticed and recognized and therefore rewarded, those are outputs, those are payoffs and outputs, then you must have the identity of one who can attract attention. And when people invest their time in you, they're giving you the most valuable asset. And that is what exactly gets invested and traded. So what does that mean? It means that when you're attracting attention, what you're doing is not just being seen, it's above and beyond that. You are gaining their mind share. It's about getting more of their mind share. Mind share is when they think of you and you occupy space in their mind. They think of you even though you're not there, even before you enter the room. That is mind share. Candid insight number 4. The scarcity of true leadership quality discerns and determines your competence, your capacity, and your confidence. In today's marketplace, there's always a huge demand for individuals who are sharply discerning, strategic thinkers. If you will work hard and you will focus your attention and investment in developing your mind and your skills in tandem, you will never have shortage of opportunity. You'll never have shortage of being able to capture and hold someone's mind share. Because the thing is, there's no such a thing in today's marketplace as having too much talent and too much ability to think. It is high in demand. CEOs are searching for individuals with these very specific but also very rare qualities. Number 1, the willingness to take independent action, especially when it benefits the business. Number 2, the discipline in order to be very diligent around the usage of their resources, especially their own resources, including money and finances. Number 3, the ability to be very creative when it comes to offering greater services above and beyond those all around him. Number 4, the ability to practice self-governance and the willingness to take ownership of their own responsibility, ownership of their own growth and the teams around them, right? And the next skill is having deep focus in their domain instead of having scattered attention. And the next rare quality is having such a deep knowledge and focus in their domain of expertise that they are sought after for it. They have unique insights and they have that expertise in it. You see, executive mastery is really alignment of who you are, alignment of what you believe, and alignment of the effect that you have around you. It is the one thing that cannot be faked. It is about capturing mind share and knowing how to attract attention. And it is about developing these rare leadership qualities. The last candid insight I want to share with you, number 5, is the right environment for your genius. Now, I'm talking about genius, and when I use the word genius, I'm referring to once you've adopted the identity of one who can be executively present, then what happens is that you step into your genius. Now, great CEOs, strategic, effective, successful CEOs are able to recognize these rare leadership qualities that I talked about earlier. And when they recognize these rare leadership qualities, they seek them out and they partner with these individuals, and these individuals are indispensable. They are valuable and indispensable. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I don't work for a boss like that. My boss doesn't recognize me in my abilities and my capacity. You might be having that experience right now. To which I say, remember, it goes back to executive presence. Taking intention and ownership was one of the insights I shared. First of all, before you turn your eyes outwards, turn your eyes inward. Have I taken on the identity of one who does that? Have I taken full ownership and responsibility for my personal growth? Am I seeing one side of this and I'm really not assessing myself in a balanced perspective? Am I focused on one area of growth, but I'm missing another area of growth that I really haven't really stepped into? Taking ownership of your actions. What am I seeing? What am I missing? So before you turn your eyes outward and turn to your bosses and managers and say, I'm not in the right environment, do that first. And take concerted effort with intention and ownership on, I'm going to consistently adapt those rare leadership qualities over time, consistently and persistently. Regardless of what happens outside of me that I cannot control, I'm going to be taking ownership of it. And over time, I'm going to be consistent at serving at my highest level, be consistent at having deep focus on my domain, be having consistent focus at taking independent action, especially in service to my business. You keep doing that over time without blaming or making excuses or assessing whether or not your bosses are giving you that opportunity over time. And then what happens is that it develops that awareness. Now, I submit to you that in the right environment, in an environment where the genius is recognized, your executive presence, your capacity can thrive. So once you take ownership first, turn your eyes inward before turning your eyes outwards, take ownership first. And if you are through the full awareness, if the factual with the objective realization and the assessment is that my employer does not recognize these rare leadership qualities in me, then go and find an employer who does recognize that genius. In the right environment, that executive presence, those rare leadership qualities can thrive. So you see, when taken together, executive presence is not just a performance. It's not just about your polish and your extroversion and your charisma. It's not just about that. Those are symptoms of executive presence. It really is authentic influence. It really comes from that internal alignment of those three qualities. It really comes from stepping up and really exemplifying those rare gems, qualities of leadership. And it really is, as a sum total of all that, you get to have the privilege and the opportunity to inspire confidence in your senior leaders, confidence about your ability to take on greater responsibilities. And that really is the one thing that cannot be faked and the one thing that CEOs know about executive presence.